Alright guys, part 2. Yeah. I'll talk maybe another, I don't know, 45 minutes. I'm done. So this is how I'm going to structure my videos, guys. That way it doesn't take long to upload. Because if I just make one, like 1 hour, 30-minute video, it can take, YouTube, for some reason, YouTube these days, like, yeah, it uploads, it takes like 20 minutes to upload, and I see like the 2 hour processing time. Oh yeah, I'm not waiting 2 hours for my video to get uploaded. That's why I have to leave my video early morning yesterday. Yeah. I have to cut my video into slices now, that way it uploads faster. Because it's a shorter video, right? Yeah. Ivan, what do you think fans will like the most? Either Volume 2 or Volume 3 the best. I don't know. It just depends how the art hits you, right? I personally like Volume 3 the best, but... Or you can argue that it's a tie. They're both just as good, right? It just depends how the art hits you. But I like Volume 3 the best, and Volume 2 is a close second for me. Then Volume 1 is the worst because it's just... Even though I love Volume 1 is just a buildup of the plot. It's just about the life of Tactics and them behind the walls in Xanus, right? The first half of it, and once Tactics leaves the walls, that's when the story really picks up. But Volume 1, the chapters are a lot shorter. It's the buildup of the story. But there's some fans who might like Volume 1 the best because they love the whole thing. Yeah, I love the whole thing of behind the life behind the walls. I love that, Ivan. Yeah. The whole thing about the life behind the walls. They like it, obviously, right now. They like that, right? Yeah. So Volume 1 is a life behind the walls in Xanus. Yeah, pretty much. The first half of it, that a good like quarter of it, a good maybe quarter or about a half of it is about the life behind the walls. But once Tactics leaves the walls, now you get the story now progresses, and then Tactics now meets some Southern, Sirius, and Papyri. And then Cassius and Acetonians and their 15 men, they leave the walls to look for him, obviously. And it's no longer about what's going on in Zanes, it's about what's going on outside the walls. As Cassius and Acetonians are looking for Tactius, and Tactius meets Sirius and Papyri, some Sarah. As you guys read right now. Yeah. After this, I'm going to fill my paper. I'm going to go to Walford back and bring my form. I'm also going to get my burn smokes. I picked up my check I did yesterday on my tip out. So I'm going to get my burn smokes, obviously. Tomorrow I work at Dinty's. I work at Dinty's tomorrow, yeah. Alright, if you think James Gunn Superman will hit 800 million, I will know based off the second weekend drop, obviously. If there's not a significant drop off, then Superman has legs and it could hit $800 million. Don't forget, Madness still made 116 million, less than what James Gunn Superman made in its opening weekend, and that movie almost made $700 million. So Superman can just have a little bit more legs, it could hit that $800 million. And if Superman makes $850 million, Warner Bros. Made a little bit of profit off that. As Superman has to make maybe $750 million to break even. So if it makes 800, 850, Warner Bros. Made their profit, obviously. That's why I recommend all you guys around the world, show Warner Bros. Some love and go watch Superman. It's on theaters. If you want this thing to be successful, man, show Warner Bros. Some love and watch the movie. You're welcome by blowing your breath. That's nice. Yeah. And I'm promoting on my channel. The whole world's doing my channel, so I'm helping out. I'm trying my best to help out Warner Bros. Obviously by promoting on my channel. So I'm saying, yeah. Yeah. But the most important thing for James Gunn Superman is the critical reception. The fans have to love it. That's number one. And it doesn't hurt for the movie to make money, obviously. But Superman might perhaps break even or perhaps lose money, obviously, as John Campion said, right? I think it will hit 800 million. I was wrong with the opening weekend projection. But I think I might be right with the box office. Superman could hit $800 million. It just has to have legs. Repeat viewings, spread of word of mouth. You guys see what I'm saying? Yeah. 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 Alright, do you think Fantastic Four will hit $1 billion? No. Fantastic Four will not. Fantastic Four, no one really, there's not really much hype for that movie, right? Like, I'm not really that hyped for Fantastic Four, right? Fantastic Four, I think, might hit maybe, you'll be lucky to make $500 million, $600 million. If it has a bit of legs, it could make maybe 700, but I highly doubt it. Fantastic Four might make maybe 500, 600 million in the box office. That's my prediction, obviously. Maybe 80, 90, 100 million opening weekend. Fantastic Four makes 80, 90, 100 million opening weekend. Because don't forget, even though Fantastic Four is a pretty big Marvel brand, it's competing with James Gunn Superman. Superman is obviously a more popular IP than Fantastic Four. Obviously. Because Fantastic Four is competing with James Gunn Superman on theaters. I'm sorry. Yeah. So what's your prediction for James Gunn Superman? I think box office 800 to 1.2 billion. I highly doubt $1 billion. Probably that 800 million range. I think it could hit, but it just depends on. We'll see what happens at the end of this week. What will be the drop off percentage? Obviously, right? Yeah. Superman needs the legs. If Superman wants to hit $1 billion, it needs to have legs, man. Repeat viewings. Oh my God, you gotta see the Superman movie. And a lot of family members and kids, and they go see the movie, and that's how it can hit $1 billion. But I'm thinking that 800 million plus. John Campion thinks the movie will make maybe 500 million, 600 million around there. It could make that depending on the. If I see there's a big drop off in week 2, then Superman will not hit $800 million. It'll make maybe it's $500, $600 million. And if Superman makes $500, $600 million, the movie did, Warner Bros. Did lose a little bit of money on the movie. But at least the fans loved it. I heard most of the fans loved Superman, James Gunn Superman. So I think James Gunn did his job in terms of the art. The movie was good enough to win back some of the fans and establish the new DCU. But his other movies after Superman, now they have to start making money. So if Superman flops, doesn't make any money, obviously, you know what I'm saying, at least James Gunn established the Superman brand, obviously. But now his sequels and his next movies, they now have to start earning some cash, obviously. Because if Supergirl flops, then now you have a problem on your hands with the DC brand. That's not good for Warner Bros. Obviously. Supergirl and Batman Brave New World, you know what I'm saying? Those movies have to make money, man. They can't be flops. I'm sorry. Otherwise, that's not good for James Gunn's DC universe, obviously. Yeah. And that's why, guys, I recommend all you guys go watch Superman in theaters, man. That way, Warner Bros. Can make their $800 million, right? Yeah. Warner Bros. Only needs a good 80, 100 million people around the world seeing the movie, and they'll make their $1 billion, or $900 billion, right? So I recommend all you guys around the world, when you watch this video, this week, next week, the week after that, all go to the theaters and see Superman and this new DC universe. That way, there's legs for this thing, and it makes $800, $900 billion. Yeah, I'm trying my best, James, to promote your movie, but I'm trying. I'm saying, yeah, that's the best I can do, right? Yeah, but you're welcome. Yeah. Yeah. I don't believe James Gunn Superman will make $100 million because it only made $1.2 million. Yeah, well, remember the story with Avatar? Avatar only made $77 million opening weekend back in 2009. That movie went on to make $3 billion because the movie had legs, obviously. Yeah, 122 opening weekend is good for a Superman, obviously. But obviously, Warner Bros. Is expecting it to make 800 million plus. They want to make the profit, obviously. Yeah, it'd be nice to make some profit off this, or at least break even, obviously. You think Warner Bros. Is happy with the opening weekend of Superman? Yeah, 122 million is pretty good. That's better than Man of Steel, right? Obviously. It's not about the opening weekend, it's about the overall box office. Obviously. You think Warner will be popping bottles if Superman loses money? I don't know about that. But if it breaks even, I think they'll pop bottles. If Superman makes $750 million and the movie doesn't make any money, but they didn't lose money, okay, even though we didn't make any money off this, at least the fans loved it, and this is a foundation and rehabilitation for the new DC universe, obviously. And hopefully now we establish the brand, the fans love it. Now we make Supergirl, we make Batman, and now hopefully we win some of the fans back, and now our movies can make our $1 billion in the box office. I'm sorry. Because Iron Man only made 500. Iron Man, I think, like broke even, right? or it made very little profit. Iron Man, I heard, was made for I think $80 million. So the movie made Iron Man. I don't think Marvel made any money off Iron Man. I think that movie they broke even maybe around there, break even point. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? But that's how they built the MCU. Iron Man only made $500 million in the box office back in '08, and I saw that on theaters back in '08. I remember watching that when I was in high school. You saw Iron Man theaters? Yes, I did. I saw Iron Man theaters back in '08. I remember when the launch of the MCU. I didn't really know about the MCU and all that stuff back then. I didn't know about the MCU universe and everything back then, but I remember I saw Iron Man on theaters back in '08. That was a sick movie on theaters, man. I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the movie only made $500 million. So Iron Man was not a hit. The movie broke even, I believe. Yeah, the movie broke even, but then that's how they built the MCU. Obviously, I think Warner Bros. is hoping the movie makes profit, but it'd be nice for the movie to at least break even. They don't lose any money off of it. I'm sorry. Yeah. If Superman breaks even, Warner Bros. Will pop bottles. Because they didn't lose any money, right? Yeah, we didn't make any money. We also didn't lose any money, and the fans loved it. This is how we build the brand, and hopefully now Supergirl and Batman now make their 900 billion, 1.1, 1.2 billion dollars, and that's how DC becomes successful, and the movies make a lot of money. And I'll be promoting all their movies during the years, right? I'll be promoting all of James Gunn's DCU movies to help Warner Bros. Out, obviously, because that's how nice I am. Yeah, you're welcome, guys. Yeah. Yeah. Who do you think will be right? You or John Campea with Superman? It just depends on the second weekend performance. If there's a huge drop in the numbers, obviously for Superman, then John Campea will be right. Superman will not hit that $800 million. It'll hit maybe $500, $600 million in the box office. Superman. But if there's not a huge significant drop and the movie has legs, then I'll be right. I was wrong for the opening projections. John Campbell was right there, obviously. But for the overall box office, I believe Superman should hit 800 million plus. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. Man. Sarah? It's all about the legs. All about the legs, right? Yeah. And that's what I mean. We just so lucky. I don't have to worry about any of that for my movie, right? I have the keys to the kingdom, right? Yeah. I don't have to worry about my movies flopping and losing money. All my movies will make profit, tens of millions of profit in net profits. Because me and Vijay are special and we have the keys to the kingdom. Yeah. And that's one reason why all the chosen Hollywood actors want to work for me, because they know as long as they're in my movie, they don't have to worry about their movies flopping and their movies losing money and all that stuff. If you're in my movie, you have that stability, knowing that the movie will be a huge hit, and I can afford to pay you a good chunk of the film profits. Yeah. I'm sorry. That's why for my movie, I can guarantee all the chosen Hollywood actors a piece of the film profits. Whereas in Hollywood, they what? They have more of that risk because the movie could lose money. Obviously. Because in Hollywood, the profit deals are contingent of the movie making money, obviously. Yeah. if an actor negotiates a percentage of the gross profits, if the movie loses money, they don't make any money because the company didn't make any profit. Whereas for my movie, I can guarantee the Hollywood actors a piece of the film profits because all my movies will be profitable. They'll make tens of billions in net profits. And the actors can get paid their fat check, right? Yeah. Boy, what they're making in Hollywood, right? Yeah. David Cornsweet only made $750K for Superman because he's not that big of an actor, obviously. But if the DC thing's a hit, he's eventually going to become a huge A-list actor. Robert Downey Jr. only got paid $500,000 for the first Iron Man movie, and now he's a huge Hollywood star worth $300 million. So the DC thing is a hit. David Cornsweet will eventually become probably one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. He'll become huge, obviously, just like Robert Downey Jr. Right? Yeah. Why they paid David Cornsweet $78? Because David Cornsweet is not he's not like a household name, right? He's not like an A-list actor. He's like a rising star. That's why he got paid $70K. And they took a risk with Superman, obviously. But once if the DC thing becomes huge, which I think it will, David Cornsweet will now get his fatter paycheck, his 10, his 20, his 30, and he'll get like probably a nice piece of the profits if the DC thing is a huge hit. Obviously, he'll get paid the big bucks eventually. He'll become a huge A-list actor. Yeah. If the DC thing is a huge hit, David Cornsweet will become. I think David Cornsweet will become the next Robert Downey Jr. If the DC thing is a huge hit, he'll become huge, man. Well, maybe not Robert Downey Jr., but he'll become big. He'll become a big actor, and he'll get paid a lot of money if the DC thing is a hit and the movies are making their $900 billion. He'll become big, obviously, pretty big, obviously, and he'll get fatter paychecks. That's how you know my comic blows out of the water. He only got $750K for fucking Superman, man. That's how much I'm paying minor characters for my movie. Minor characters get like $750K for my movie, $500K, $400K. So even the minor characters for my movie are getting paid the big bucks. At $750K, $600K, $500K for a minor role is a lot of money, right? That's a good chunk of change for a Hollywood actor, right? For a minor role, right? Yeah. Was the major roles get paid their millions, obviously, for my company. No. And they get a piece of the profits. Yeah. That's why I told you James Gunn and Peter Safran would leave DC to work for me because they don't have to worry about the pressure, obviously. I told you by the time I start Sky's Entertainment, a good, I don't know, 9 years from now, whatever it is, with VJ, DC will be well into their universe. They would have made maybe a good 12, 15 movies. They probably would have had a good maybe 2 Justice League movies by then, right? Yeah. And I told you, if the DC thing is a hit, which I think it will be, obviously, David Zaslav will be extending James Gunn and Peter Safran, and they're going to be locked on. I guarantee you, David Zaslav, he's not going to give James Gunn and Peter Safran an opt-out agreement option in their contract. It's an exclusive contract. You can't accept offers. That's why they're out of the picture, obviously, right? Yeah. Yeah. Ivan, do you think James Gunn's DC will be as successful as Marvel in their glory days? I don't know about that, but it has the potential to be almost. James Gunn's DC has potential to be huge, man. And I think James Gunn, he did it, man. He did his job. Most of the fans love his Superman. That's all that matters, right? The art is more important than the money at this point. I hope the movie makes money, but it's more about the critical reception and winning some of the fans back. That's what's the most important thing. I agree with John there, but it doesn't hurt for Warner Bros. To make some profit, obviously. That's why I'm promoting it. I'm trying my best to help him out, but I mean, there's only so much I can do, right? Oh, hey, I'm saying, yeah. Yeah. But yes, James Gunn's Superman has the potential to be to be like Marvel in its glory days. Because I think there's a higher potential for success with DC than Marvel. As I think the DC universe is a lot more interesting than the Marvel universe. No offense, right? You have Batman, you have Wonder Woman, you have Superman. You know what I'm saying? You have Green Lantern. Yeah, it has potential to be even better than Marvel. Obviously, they just have to do everything right. Obviously. Because don't forget, Iron Man broke even. It only made like $500 million back in 2008. The movie was made for, I think, $80, $100 million. The movie broke even pretty much, right? Or made a little profit. I don't know. I think it probably broke even. Because don't forget, the theaters take the theaters take like 50% of the money, right? Of the box office. So Iron Man was a stepping stone for Marvel. The movie made $500 million. It broke even. But that's how they built, and a lot of fans loved it, and that's how they built the MCU. And the MCU became a huge thing for the first few phases. I told you, after Phase 3, the MCU flopped, and it went downhill from there after that. Phase 4 and 5 were disasters. They were flop phases. Don't hate me, Kevin Feige. I'm saying, yeah, they were flop phases. I'm saying, yeah. Yeah. Let me say, guys, I'm gonna go upstairs and get my coffee. Back in a sec. Skiv very wonderful. You guys on the show. Alrighty, guys, I'm back. Went upstairs to get my coffee. And after this, I'm gonna fill my paper. I'm gonna go to the welfare office and I'm gonna hand in my paper. And I will qualify because I qualified like 5 years ago when I received welfare checks for 5 years. Sorry, for 3 years. About 3 years, right? Yeah. And I went back to working, but I want to go back to welfare and just work once a week at Indies and just get my book done, get it proofread, design my cover, and I might perhaps write their unique. Obviously, which I most likely will. They're unique, right? I'm going to write that book, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone else that money. I'm like, no, John, you get 10. Stop being greedy sometimes. Ivan, James Gunn's DC will be the side tension when you work on Xanus. Yes, man. And I know 10 years from now, the DC thing is huge. They made like, I don't know, 12, 15 movies. They made like, I don't know, a couple Justice League movies. By the time I saw Scott's Entertainment, the DCU probably would have released maybe like 1 or 2 Justice League movies, right? Yeah. And I think James Gunn's Justice League will be huge if everything is done right, obviously, like Avengers. Because obviously, David Zaslav, his goal is to build like a DC universe like Kevin Feige's Marvel in the first few phases. And the brand is huge, obviously. Yeah, I want all my movies to make $1 billion, $1.5 billion. Yeah. If everything is done right, the Justice League movies could make their $2 billion plus, right? If everything's done right, obviously. Everything has to be done right, obviously, right? For the DC universe, obviously. Make it to $1.5, $2 billion. Yeah, but even if the DC thing is huge, James Gunn's DC universe will be the side tension. My Zane's brand with VJ is the main event. The whole world's mainly buzzing about this. Oh, I can't wait for that Zane's movie to come out now. Yeah. And Zane's is a better story than all these IPs, right? As my stepmother told me, it's number 1 for a reason. Yeah, which means it's better than all the Hollywood IPs. You know, that's why the gates won't control my brand, is they're greedy pigs. Yeah. 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 Ivan, you and VJ speaking deal is a huge deal. Oh yeah, me and VJ speaking deal is like a 50, 60, 80, 100 million deal in speaking. And that's why me and VJ are so big and we're getting paid so much money. All our deals are massive contracts. Even our speaking food deal is like a 100 million deal, man. I speak at 80 places, I'm pulling in my 800,000, 500,000, 300,000, million, million five, million three, whatever it is. Yeah, me and VJ will pull in our 70 million, 80 million, 50 million speaking, even perhaps 100 million speaking. I highly doubt 100, more likely that's 70 million. 56 million speaking, man. It's a huge deal. That's where we're getting paid the big bucks, man. Yeah, man. We're making so much money. It's crazy. And that schools are already massive deal with Amazon and Microsoft and Sony, right? Yeah, we're making a lot of money. We signed a mega deal for our movies, yeah. And the Hollywood actors get a tiny piece of it. They get that kind of their 2, 3, 4, 5 million of that, right? Actors might even make 5, speaking, right? Maybe even 6. It just depends how If my venues have 100,000+ fans, the actors can even make their 5-6 million speaking earnings. They're making a lot of money. That's a lot of money for all the actors for speaking, right? That's more than their contracts for some of their movies. Like, how many blows out of the water? Yeah, guys will blow out of the water. Yeah. Yeah. Ivan, if Warner Bros. Hired you as CEO of DC, do you think you'd be able to write a good Superman story? Yeah. If I study the comics and I let my creativity flow, I could what? I could write an amazing movie too. I'm very gifted, obviously. Yeah. But I'm the kind of guy, if I wrote a movie, I would co-write it with somebody. Ivan, can you direct your movie? Yes, I could. I'm very creative, obviously, but I probably want to have an assistant director help me out. I don't have any experience directing movies, obviously. Because I'm gifted and I'm very creative, I could direct a movie too. Yeah. Like before, remember how I said I wanted to direct Xanus? I decided, no, I'm not going to direct it. I don't want to be stressed out. Acting as a lead in directing a movie is very stressing. Some directors have done that, but that's very stressing, obviously. I'd rather just have an experienced director like Peter Jackson or Gibson jump on board. And I just focus on my acting. Oh, I'm not stressed out. I don't have the experience, obviously. So I'm humble enough to yeah, even though I'm a creative genius, I'm gonna humble myself. I need help. I'd rather have Peter Jackson take that shot. I mean, he has that experience, obviously, directing Guillermo del Toro or Mel Gibson, obviously. And I just focus on my acting. But I will be helping Peter out with ideas and that kind of stuff for his notes and yeah. I'm gonna show him Prince of Egypt. That way you give him ideas. You know what I'm saying? I even thank you. You gave me some good ideas for the Exodus. Yeah. You help Peter out. That way you give him and get him all told. That way you give him some good ideas for your movie. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So Ivan, you can write an amazing novel, you can screenwrite. Yes, you can. If you can write an amazing fantasy novel, you can write your own screenplay. But it doesn't hurt to study, to do a little bit of studying and co-write with somebody, right? Because screenwriting is a different medium than writing a novel. Screenwriting is motion picture, so you have to picture a lot of the scenes in your head, in your mind, obviously. When you write the screenplay, Sarah. You have to picture all the scenes in your head, also. Yeah. Yeah. Ivan, what will you most likely do after Zane's? The Great Escape or Spider-Man? Most likely The Great Escape with Keanu Reeves. I'm just being honest here, right? I kind of want to do The Great Escape over Spider-Man. Because that's a fucking entertaining story. Like, on the run from a criminal organization, that's a fucking sick story. And Keanu Reeves is not getting any younger. It'd be nice to have him in my movie, obviously, before he gets old and passes away. So, it doesn't hurt to have him in your movie. Because Keanu Reeves will be like in his late 70s when he He'll be maybe 78, 79 when he films the movie. He's getting old. So it doesn't hurt to have him in your movie before he passes away. It'd be cool to have him in your movie. That's my point, right? Because he'll be getting old. He'll be like 78 years old, 79. He'll be old, obviously. He even tell me, my body's dumb and I can't do the stuff I used to do in The Majors and John Wick. He'll be doing a lot of fighting scenes too, obviously, but you can have him, you can balance his fighting with his gun. He's a badass gunman in the movie. That way, it's easier on his body because he'll be a bit older, obviously. You can have a nutrition plan for him. That way, his body's healthier. He works out, obviously, but he'll be a bit older, Keanu Reeves, and the work will be a bit tougher on his body for the movie because he's getting older, Keanu Reeves. Tom Cruise will be in his 70s too if I choose him. They're all getting up there in age, right? Yeah. And that's why a lot of these Hollywood actors want to be in that movie, because once I'm king, all these big A's are now getting up there in age. They're getting old. Yeah, before I pass away and die, I want to experience the success and fame with Ivan and VJ. Whereas the younger generation, like the millennials and all, those guys are all young, obviously. Like David Cornswet and all that stuff, Nicholas Hugh and all those guys are all millennials. They're all around my age. David Cornswet, I think, is like 2 years younger than me. He's born in 1994. So he's only 31. He's young. Nicholas Holt, I think, is my age. He's 33. Yeah, the millennials and all those guys have decades. They have a lot of years ahead of them. But the Gen Xers and are getting up there in age. And the baby boomers are already fucking old, right? Those guys are already, like, really old. Yeah. Yeah. But the Gen Zs and the millennials, those guys are all younger, obviously. The guys who were born around my time, yeah, my age right now. Yeah, but why don't you do a thing where you have your movie and you do maybe another 10 movies where that way you give more opportunity for the actors to work for you. I could do that, but I could lose money. Now it's very risky, obviously. Even though I have the keys and the whole world knows my movie, because I'm not the face of the movie, some fans might not see those movies, obviously. Even though it's produced by Sky Source, I could lose money. And I can't pay the Hollywood actors the kind of money I want to pay them for my movie. I have to cut their paycheck, pay them a little bit less. And I'm only gonna make movies max for maybe $81 to $1 to reduce the risk. I could lose my money. Chances are I will make my money, obviously, but I'm not going to do that, man. It's one movie at a time, obviously. Otherwise, if you have 10 movies, you have to hire like hundreds of employees. I have to pay them more money, and yeah, some Sarah. But for $1 billion, you can easily produce 10 $100 million budget movies, obviously. But now I have to hire like a lot of employees, and I have to cut the Hollywood crewman's paycheck to like their $40,000 now, to reduce the risk. And the Hollywood actors, I have to pay them a bit less. They'll still accept my deal if I pay them less, but I'm not going to do that, man. My company is just one movie at a time, man. I'm not going to do like all these other movies. Yes, it's more jobs for the Hollywood actors. I can get them out of the Hollywood system, but I don't want to take that risk and lose money, right? Because it's 4K Blu-ray, I should make my money back, but I could lose money, obviously. Because if I'm not the face, if me and Vijay are not the face of the movie, now I'm taking a risk and I can lose my money. Because even though it's a Sky Source movie, even though this is a Sky Source movie, I don't really care about this movie. I'm not going to watch it. Obviously. You see what I'm saying? It's risky. Obviously. Because the Hollywood actors don't have that guaranteed success factor like me. They're not special like me. They're not God. They don't have the keys. Hence why I'm not taking that risk, obviously. Yes, it's more jobs for the Hollywood actors, but I'm not doing that. My company is one movie at a time. Because, yeah, if you don't do that, man, it's risky. We can lose our money. Yes, I can lose my money, man. Some of the movies can make money. Some of the movies can lose money. It's risky. I'm sorry. Yeah. Because I told you, even though a lot of the A-list actors can sell their movies, even the A-list actors have a lot of flops, too, in Hollywood, right? Because they're not me, right? Every A-list actor, every successful actor in Hollywood has had flops in their careers. And it's risky, man. You don't want to take that risk. They can make money for you, but you can also break even or lose money. Obviously. So Sarah? Hence why I have to be the face. Me and Vijay have to be the face of the movie. That way we protect our investment. Otherwise, if we're no longer the face, our investment is not 100% guaranteed protected. We can lose our money. Because the Hollywood actors, no offense, they're not guaranteed box office draws. They can make you money, but they can also perhaps some of the movies can flop, and you don't want to take that risk, obviously, because they don't have that guaranteed box office draw guarantee, right? Like me and Vijay. Me and Vijay have the keys, and we're special. We're God. They're not God. Don't hate me, guys. I'm saying, yeah. Because a lot of the ace actors, yes, they have star power. A lot of the movies make money, but also a lot of the movies also lose money or break even and flop, and you don't want to take that risk. Yeah. Yeah. George Lucas would tell me, Ivan, don't do a thing whereby like you do your movie and you do another 10 movies. You make those movies for $100 million and you have Hollywood actors work for your company, obviously. Yes, it's more jobs for the Hollywood actors, but those movies can lose money, Ivan. Those actors are not you and Vijay. Yeah, you don't want to take that risk, right? That's why I'm not doing that. And I'm a simple-minded guy. I just want to do one movie at a time. I'm not going to do like my movie and have like 10 movies. And I also have to hire a lot more employees. It becomes crazy, doing 10 movies like in Hollywood, right? I told you, even though Hollywood even though Sky Sources is bigger than Hollywood, Sky Sources is bigger than Hollywood in quality, but not quantity. In quantity, Hollywood is much bigger than my company because they're putting out dozens of movies every year. And they have way more employees. But my company's better in quality because I'm putting out bigger budget movies for my one movie, and I can pay the Hollywood actors what I'm able to make in Hollywood. I'm sorry. That's my point. Even the actors who are doing like big franchise movies would leave Hollywood to work for you. Yes. Yeah. Even David Cornswet, who's Superman for DC, even if the DC thing is huge, if he gets an opportunity to work for me, he would leave Hollywood and work for me. Be my movie because I can easily pay more money and he knows his DC thing is a side tension and my movies are the main event. Yeah, even though I'm doing Superman and the DC thing is huge. It's not Ivan's hobby. Ivan's movie's the main event. Yes, my movie's the main event. Me and Vijay's movie's the main event. Everything in Hollywood is a side tension, obviously, some Sarah. Yeah. And I can easily pay the Hollywood actors way more than what they make in Hollywood. Even if David Cornswet even when David Corzo becomes a big star, and now he's making his, I don't know, his 15-20 million Hollywood, he's getting like 20 million in royalties, I can easily pay him way more than what he making Hollywood. I can easily pay him more. Now, how much is Hollywood offering you for your movie contract? You're paying me this, I can easily pay you more. I can easily pay you more. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many bulls have the water, man? I can easily pay the Hollywood actors more money than I make in Hollywood. That's why they're all gonna beg, obviously. And copy bulls out of the water. It's like incredible. Me and BJ have a $1 billion house, man. You part of my $1 billion house. Like Batman, right? Yeah, the Dark Knight, yeah, fucking nice house. Imagine partying up at a $1 billion house, man. That's a fucking nice perk, man. Yeah, a $1 billion house, that's a fucking nice perk. Flying on my private jet, too. It's a nice perk, yeah. Yeah. And experiencing that international fame with me, the worldwide fame, yeah, it's crazy trending where everywhere you go, people take pictures of videos of you. Because all the Hollywood actors who signed their contracts for my movie, once it's now official and you get the casting announcement and their contracts are revealed and everything, now wherever they go, fans are going to be taking videos and pictures of them wherever they go. And they're now trending on X. They're the main event around the world with me. And a lot of fans on the streets are going to be coming up to them and interviewing them behind the scenes. It's fucking crazy, man. And a lot of that's trending on X, man. They feel on top of the world. And they're saved. They're not left behind in the Hollywood system, obviously. In Hollywood, they're left behind. They're experiencing crazy fame in Hollywood, but they're side tension and they're left behind. Whereas me and VJ were the main event. Our movies are the main events. Sarah? Yeah. Shout out, guys. I'll talk to you maybe another 50 minutes. I'm done. On part 3.